Today is welding day for the Porsche, and that means I've got to get it out the garage. Now I've already took it off the axle stands, put it on its four wheels. I just need now to move the jag so I can get the car out over here, ready for the pickup truck to come and get it. And that's the first time she's seen the light of day for quite a while. Let's wait for that pickup truck, let's get it loaded. And so it begins, guys. So I brought it here to this nice little unit here because I'm all for small businesses and giving them a chance. So hopefully this guy is going to do me a really good job here. But we'll see, won't we? Phil from the future here just jumping in, and during this video I will also reveal price and cost I've incurred on this build up to this moment. Back to Phil from the past. Right, here we go, guys. So the job has been done now. It's the next day, and of course the weather is absolutely terrible. Gus over there has done a fantastic job on the Porsche. I'll be dropping the link to his unit and his business, so if you need some welding doing, then yeah, use this guy. Absolutely brilliant. So we have it there, look, so they've been done, and there is the new sill all in place. Fabulous. Right, let's get this back home, get it back in the garage and out of this rain. And she's back in her house and absolutely filthy from the rain that mixed with all the dust and everything on her. So I'm going to have to pull the car out, just give her a little wash down just to get rid of that filth. And also we need to do a little bit of adjustment to the door. So I need the car out the garage so I can open the door fully to adjust it. Now that the sill's on, I should be able to line that door up properly. Yeah, so this door has now been on and off about 20 times. And oh, it's a nightmare. I mean, I get these hinges lined up, and then when I put these bolts in and tighten them up, it pulls them in and knocks the alignment out the door again. So my last effort, well, I think it might be my last effort, I just loosen the hinges. It's just tight enough to stop them moving on their own, but would move with a little tap. And then I put the door in place and then tap the hinges until these pins went straight into the hinge part there. And now I'm hoping that if I tighten these up, it's going to fit properly. Right, bolts in the hinges. Now then, we need this to open without dropping. Here we go. Oh, yes. And shut nicely. Thank goodness for that, because I'm sick of doing this door now. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to give it a little wash just to get rid of all this muck that's on it, because it's horrible. And then we'll get it back in the garage, and we need to put some sealant over the welding areas that they've done. Show you that when I get it back in. Just while I wait for the car to dry, I thought I'd just do an update on costs for you guys, because we haven't really covered this in this series as yet. So this is where I am at the moment. I paid 10 grand for the car. The exhaust, which had no rear boxes, so I've put the switchable exhaust on there, £985, plus all the brackets, the clamps and everything for that. The new tyre, which I didn't expect, £365 for one of those tyres. It's a 305 width, it's massive. The door, 70 quid, bargain. It's a Boxster door, cheap as chips. Charcoal filter, so that's a bit that fits under the wing. That filters exhaust fumes that come back up from the filler pipe. That was 15 quid. Radiator, so we had a radiator on the left hand broken for some reason, so I think this has took a bang in the front as well as the side. That was 53 quid. The body kit itself was just short of 4 grand, which I think is a bargain because the quality of this kit, and I've had another body shop who makes their own kits confirmed to me that he thinks the quality of this kit is absolutely fantastic, and I agree with him. The sill, well, replacement sill I had to get from Porsche, that was £191. The rear lights, so I've got 991 rear lights, we saw them in an earlier episode, they're £425. I've got the DRLs, I don't think you've seen those yet, I'm waiting for some brackets to fit them, they're 350 quid. I've got the 997 headlight trays, because I'm looking at doing a 997 stroke 991 replica light on these, and that's £332 just for those plastic trays that fit inside the wings. And then the petrol flap has a little rubber cover that just fits around the filler pipe, just to protect it and stop any of the fluids, any spillage going inside the wing. £49 for that bit of plastic. Welcome to the world of Porsche. So up to date, my running total is £15,849 I've spent on this car. Thank you, neighbour. I'm making a video here. Can you not be cutting wood? So including paint shop and other parts I've yet to buy, I am hoping, fingers crossed, that I get this build. So including body prep and paint shop and other things I've yet to buy, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I get this build for under 25k. Let's carry on. So I've just spent about 2 hours now lining that door up, what a pain in the backside that was, and then getting the car back in the garage, getting it up on the axle stands, getting the wheels off, tucking them away out of the way, so not tripping me over everywhere I go to walk. And now the car is ready for the next stage, and that is we need to apply some seam sealant to those newly welded or spot welded joints and apply some under seal to the actual sill itself. So here's a point where it's been spot welded. As you can see here, it's got loads of seam sealant just blathered on there. So I'm going to blather a load down here and on there. And then this bit's okay. But what we do have just inside the door here, so this seam along here just needs a little bit just along the top edge there. And then the last place we need to go underneath, and we need to actually fix all this and make sure we blather all this with seam sealant as well. So here's my polyurethane sealant, which I've researched, and you need the polyurethane type. And is overpaintable, look, which is also what you need. And then you get this with the actual tube. Now, that bit's going to be good to just do along the top edge, but when I want to do along the spot weld areas, what I need is something that's going to be nice and wide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to do the top edge with that, and then I'm going to cut it off, and I'm going to squeeze it together and heat it up with a heat gun and see if I can make this into a flatter shape. I'll show you that when we get to it. So now I've got a heat gun and I've got the nozzle that I've cut off. I found another one, so I found a brand new one. I've cut it off, and what I intend to do is, with the pliers, I'm going to squeeze that down like that and then apply heat so that hopefully it will retain that shape. Let's try that. And I'm very pleased with that, but what I'm going to do is might just do it a little bit more, just to squeeze that down a little bit more there. Well, that went well, so I'm going to let that cool just so it can retain its shape, and then we'll go on and start using the sealants along those welds. So next, the sill area under here was coated with under seal, and that went round to there as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just under seal all of this right along here, all the way up to there, and maybe just a little bit in the back there as well, just to really protect it. Belt and braces, but you can't have enough protection for this because you don't want the water getting in there and rusting this out, because that would mean having to take the body kit sill off, which is down there, look, to actually fix that sill again in the future. We don't want that to happen. So now I'm letting that sealant dry, I'm going to go reassemble the back end again, because none of what I'm doing down here is going to be in the way. Right, so set about fitting on these rear quarters, and there's a bolt at the bottom and one of them tech screws in the top there, and also a tech screw at the back, and that holds that one on. Move over to the other side and do exactly the same on there. Right, then we'll look at the rear bumper. Now what I had done here, I had removed the crash bar, so I'm just replacing the crash bar there because I think it was catching on the bumper. So I put the bumper over the crash bar, but when I try and see where it's catching, I can't see it all. So I take the bumper off and then remove the heat shield. I can then replace the crash bar without the heat shield, put the bumper back in place, and after I've done that I can now go under the car with a torch and I can see exactly where it's catching. And I found out where it was, marked it with a pen. So now remove the crash bar itself and get my angle grind out and cut out that little bit that I don't need. So with all that cut off, we can fit it all back together and get the bumper back in place, and it's not catching now. So now we need to mount the bumper onto the rear quarters, and I created two little bolts that just goes through using the riv nuts in the rear quarter, so I can connect this up and keep it nice and firm. And then the bumper has some holes built into it that connect directly to underneath the heat shields from the exhaust. Moving over to the side, do exactly the same on the other side. So it's all now nicely fitted. So there we have it, the rear end is back together again now, and my sill has been welded. So I'm just waiting on delivery of some under seal, which I thought I had some, but I haven't. The stuff I've got stays tacky. I need the stuff that you can overpaint. So I've ordered some of that, and that's going to be coming shortly, but I can't do any more on that. Sorry, that brings me to an end on this video because I'm having to wait now for the delivery, which will be tomorrow, of the under seal. Then by the time I do that, it'll be another day, by the time it dries, etc, etc. So therefore, I'm going to knock this one on the head now. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up for my efforts, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. It really does help with the analytics. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay safe.